Hi guys, can you hear me okay this morning? It still looks like it's too low. I don't know if I need to move closer to the microphone. I don't know what's going on with this damn microphone. I need to get it figured out. Can you guys hear me okay? Seems like yesterday's interview was really fouled up by the fact that you couldn't hear me. Somebody in chat tell me if they can hear me, please. Or I'm canceling today's show. Thank you, Rib Guy. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So, my caveat, I don't know if it really applies when we do these throwbacks, but it's still the same. You're not going to like everyone I feature. I'm going to feature the content. I'm not featuring the people. It's a lot of interesting content though for today. So let's see. Let's do a screen share and get started. Da, da, da. So did everyone sleep well? I'm still half asleep. I am still half asleep, guys. I'm tired. I am tired. Okay. Here we have a video that is posted at dailymotion.com called Scientology The X-Files. It was a 2010 ABC special that has the Hadleys in it, amongst many other former Scientologists. I thought it was an interesting little find. Let's play a few seconds of this. I'm not going to play a lot of it.
Many religions claim to hold the key to man's salvation. Scientology is no exception.
The most fundamental explanation as regards Scientology's basic beliefs is that man is basically good, and that the individual is a spiritual
Does anyone hate this guy as much as I do?
being, that you've lived before and you'll live again, and that your capabilities are infinite, if not yet fully
Tommy the Tool Davis.
realized.
We have the ability to actually help make a difference in the situation in Haiti, and I just can't, see not using this plane to help.
Yeah, by following around real volunteers that are actually doing good and handing out a few water bottles. I'm not saying that I know that this is the case for sure for this instance, but that's been all the previous cases. So.
But behind the church's high celebrity profile and pious exterior lies a leadership at war with its real and perceived enemies. They include a growing band of former
Mark Hadley,
Scientologists, and any media like Four Corners that dares to report their grievances.
That was a private investigator who's been following us all night long.
In recent months, a storm has erupted around Scientology. In Australia and overseas, the church stands accused of breaking the law and destroying families.
It's a great little show segment. It's 44 minutes long. It's also Australia. Why does Australia seem to be able to do news shows about Scientology where we don't have them in the States? Makes you wonder. People are afraid of Scientology, people being bought out by Scientology, maybe all of the above. I don't know. Check it out. Let's watch a few more seconds of it.
Its critics are growing in strength and numbers, openly challenging the church over how it treats its adherents and punishes them.
It's a slave camp, there's no question about it, because people are definitely abused.
People were thrown overboard, hands bound and feet bound and blindfolded. Women of 55 years old.
I was angry. Don't get me wrong. If I could have gone up there and King hit the very individual that signed my daughter to scrubbing out a dumpster.
I'm not going to play anymore. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Plus, it's really long anyway. You have to go see it for yourself. It's a really interesting little look back on people speaking out in 2010. So, still speaking out. Still, nothing's been done. Here we have our article in Daily Mail. Jenna Miscavige had released, shout out to Jenna Miscavige. Jenna Miscavige had released the private investigator police interview where they were asking them about their activities, suspecting them of being hitmen for David Miscavige against Ron Miscavige Sr. And the other day I said Ron Miscavige Sr. And then I second guessed myself and said, actually, I don't know. And yes, it is senior because Jenna's dad is Ron Miscavige Jr. So here we go. Talking about this in, I think it was 2016, but they go over it here. They have what is this called? A supplementary report from it. It's worth checking out if anyone's investigating into that. Here's one of the alleged hitmen, the one that we heard talking, not the father, but the younger of the two. Oh, no, this is the father. Dwayne Powell, 44. And then the son was 27-year-old Daniel Powell. So check out this article, find out more about it. I'm not awake enough to read an article to you guys. Let's go to a clip where we here. I thought it would be good to share a little clip from Ron Miscavige. Here we go.
Megan was born in 1978, 2 days after my 30th birthday. At the time, I was in the C organization, or as we will refer to it, the Sea Org,
right,
which is the senior organization in Scientology, which manages the entirety of Scientology.
Okay.
And the spiritual mecca, if you will, is the Flag Land Base in
right.
Clearwater, Florida. And I was working there. And
you know, one of the reasons I brought up Ron Miscavige and was looking into Ron Miscavige Sr. was because in that interview with the detective, the PI, he was saying he was snooping on his emails over his shoulder at the library, which I find completely implausible. And so I was like, well, let's see if I can find any photos of earlier Ron Miscavige Sr. from his home, see if there's this computer in the background. And I didn't find that. But just a couple years later, he's got all this tech and microphones, and he had written a book. Of course, he had a computer at some point, but just how early did he? Did he have one at the time of those police interviews? I don't know, but I suspect he more than likely did. People have had computers in their homes for a really long time. I think I only see students and the homeless on those computers at the library. I've used the library computer just to look up a book while I was at the library, but I don't sit there for hours checking email. And if you know you're being followed by PIs, wouldn't you be very wary of people around you when you do check your email if you were to do that? It's just also very highly suspicious. And then they were saying, oh, well, we eavesdropped on his conversations through an open car window when he was driving around. Come on, guys. No one believes that. So that was a little update on that while we're doing the throwback. Let's play a second more of this with Ron Miscavige Sr. And I don't know who he's talking to here. Sorry.
When Megan was born. And so Megan was born into Scientology, if you will.
I got it.
But to give you a little background on this connection, so it's
David Richards. David was the commanding officer of the founding Church of Scientology in Washington, D.C. Yeah, a lot of you guys seem to think all of Scientology started in St. Hill or even Clearwater or California. No, it started in D.C. The first church of Scientology was in Washington, D.C.
Better understood. Disconnection is really a practice of, it's exactly what the words means. If it's your mother, you don't talk to her, you don't take her phone calls, you don't take texts, you don't send her emails, and you don't receive any from her. That's what you do.
Wonderful. A church, huh?
Yeah. And it originated in the mid 60s.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this if this guy founded the first church or helped found the first church. It's interesting. So, okay, next, let's just move along, keep it going, keep it tight, however that saying is. True story of Scientology's film studio, Golden Era Productions. This is Mitch Brisker.
In 2010, I helped produce a video intended to give an inside look at Scientology's in-house production facility, Golden Era Productions. Some years before the video was produced, David Miscavige, the leader of Scientology, ordered dozens of his top managers to be incarcerated in 2 double-wide trailers that came to be known as the Notorious Hole. Prisoners were forced to live in degrading conditions, eating and sleeping in cramped spaces that were once their offices, and were subjected daily to torture and humiliation. Every staff member at Gold knew about the situation.
Every staff member knew about it, and yet you stayed, Mitch Brisker. And I don't hold you personally responsible for the actions that took place there. And I would like to see you back out and speaking more often. So please come back, Mitch. I don't know where you've been hiding yourself. Hopefully, you've been staying active. And we hope to see you back soon. I do have another one about the whole. Maybe I should skip to that. Yeah, here we go. This one's about the whole also from Scare Theater.
Members for monetary gain, harassment, and all different types of abuse. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the darker aspects of Scientology, its prison camp called The Hole, which Scientology denies the existence of to this day. The Hole is the unofficial nickname of a facility operated by the Church of Scientology on Gold Base, located in the San Jacinto Mountains of California. The facility consists of a set of double-wide trailers conjoined together, which used to serve the purpose of being offices for the church's international.
I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce that city. I hear San Jacinto, San Jacinto, San Jacinto. I don't know which for sure is right, but I think it's San Jacinto, and I've been saying San Jacinto. So here's the hole here. Lovely. Looks like 4-star accommodations.
National management team. Gold Base was initially acquired by Scientology in 1978 under an alias to keep it a secret. It was staffed by Sea Org members. The Sea Orgs are Scientology's inner circle of most dedicated members, only consisting of around 6,000 people. The Sea Orgs are held to a code of ethics they must adhere to. Violation of this code was one of the many grounds for being sent to the hole for months or even years at a time.
They're the most ethical group on the whole planet, guys. They just throw everyone away and lock them up under guard and electric fences.
Violations included performing poor work, showing any doubt or hostility toward the church, or literally anything that angered the leader of Scientology, David Miscavige.
Head troll in charge there.
It isn't difficult for one to find themselves in the hole. Life in this facility was not pleasant. Up to 100 people at a time would be cramped up in the double-wide trailers, leaving hardly any space to move around.
Take a look at that. It is really a good little deep dive into the hole by Scare Theater. And it is scary. You should be scared. Let's play a few seconds more of the Mitch Brisker. I feel like I cut him off too quickly. Anyway, let's just play a little bit more of Mitch Brisker.
The interviews you're about to see were photographed within a few hundred yards of that makeshift prison. So I'm going to take you inside Golden Era Productions.
I overheard my dad once telling one of his friends, you know, Crystal likes helping people.
That's Crystal. She's a member of the qualifications division, which in a Scientology organization.
She likes helping people. They're the most ethical group on the planet, and they use your kindness against you. It's really sick and twisted how they use people's altruistic leanings to want to do better, to want to help people, and then they twist it and pervert it like they do.
And those are the people that are responsible for looking after the mental and physical well-being of their staff. I'm not sure how that ties into keeping people incarcerated in a prison, but they would be responsible for them too.
I love taking care of people who love taking care of people. Those are the guys I want to help.
I think she means she loves taking care of people who keep people locked up. Those are the people she likes to take care of. I think I know where she's running from. This security guard is just cruising by, checking her out, probably on his way up to the hold to make sure everything's going okay.
You know, we all came from literally.
This is great, Mitch. You did a great job with this. Sorry, I was dismissive slightly of you earlier because you all had your reasons for staying when you stayed, as long as you stayed, and you were a victim as well, and under their hold. Okay, we're gonna move past the whole. We are checking out awesome San Francisco's cops school us on proper chalk tech in San Francisco. So yeah, they were calling it chalk tech back in 2011. This is from July 3rd, 2011, and this is 309 temporary, and it's just a little assistance on your chalk tech for protesters. Here we go. Come on. Okay, that music's gonna drive me crazy. Let's skip ahead a little bit to the police interaction. Club Brain Fog stomping grounds in San Francisco. Let's move ahead a little. The police are inside the org, it looks like right now. Let's see where we get them when they come out. Here we go.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey.
What's up with the chalk?
That guy looks like he needs more donuts.
Well, did they complain about it or?
Yeah, I mean you can't do the chalk. This is too much.
Okay.
The music is one thing, and you guys totally do whatever you want to do, but the chalk is, you gotta do something with the chalk.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You got it.
Play fair, and then hopefully they'll play fair, and then we won't have to come out here anymore.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Well,
Chalk is not playing fair, guys. Why do they give it to children then to play?
So
I don't
can you
know.
get rid of the chalk for me, please?
Yeah.
Can you just not do it in front of their door?
You got it.
Can you just like do it on the sides?
Sure.
Certainly, that
like-
seems fair.
Sure. No, we get it. We get it.
Okay.
We're just, yeah.
They just,
Okay.
they got a ticket today, or citation for assaulting one of ours, and we're just trying to be lovely and
Yeah.
a little chalk went up.
Okay. Well, but can we use some of the water or something?
Yeah, just get rid of it, you know, and I don't want to have to keep coming back here. It's a waste of my time.
It's hot.
Okay?
It's hot.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You should tell Scientology it's a waste of your time. They're the ones that called you out over chalk. All right, let's move along. Let's go to Eli Perkins. This is not a happy move along. This is about someone unalived by Scientology quackery. And it is from Scientology Killed Me, which only has 4 subscribers, guys. Check their channel out.
Person. I know that I can take that person's aberrations and use standard tech, apply it to that person.
I said Eli, I meant Ellie.
And I can make that person saner.
Did you guys read that? Ellie Perkins is the mother of Danielle. Ellie, who was also a Scientologist, was stabbed 77 times and left to bleed to death by her son, Jeremy Perkins, an untreated schizophrenic, because they can cure your mental health, guys. Don't take medicine. Don't see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Just stop taking your medicine and do brainwashing sessions. I mean, auditing sessions, hypnotism. And there's Jeremy Perkins. Scientology Killed Me has a interesting channel. Check them out. Check out this story about Ellie Perkins, Danielle, and I want to say Jeremy again, but I know it's not Jeremy. My brain is not working. I'm not awake. Sorry, guys. Let's watch a little bit from another person allegedly unalived by Scientology, Sean Lonsdale. This is episode 2 of his cult watch that he did in Clearwater.
If you ever need help, Clearwater's here for you.
Children in the Sea Org.
Go to the nearest police station, they'll help you.
Sad thing is, they probably wouldn't have helped them. They went to the police station, the police would take them back. That's been reported several times. There's been several people that said they managed to escape and ran to the police, and the police just took them back. And as children, that's exactly what they would have done.
Yeah, because it's awful telling. It's awful telling. Would you want your kid out here doing that kind of work? Signing a 30 billion year contract? Dump garbage every day? Somebody was behind me. I don't know where she went. They got the Sea Org kids out there doing the garbage for the dining hall.
Little muster with the children.
Everybody's here, ready to roll.
And this is why Sean's no longer with us. He was revealing behind the scenes stuff that they didn't want seen in public and making too much of a fuss. Check out Cult Watch. Check out all of his episodes. I wish we still had Sean Lonsdale's voice added into our mix. He was a valuable component to the community. Okay. Here's one from Team Xenu from November 2011, the 13th in 2011. See, I'm not awake yet. A young man looked for answers and instead found a money-grubbing cult, money-hungry cult. Okay, here we go.
Know how involved I would get at the time, but I at least wanted to read a couple books and see exactly, how bad this could be, because my experience with talking to these guys had been a pleasant one.
32-year-old Brian Culkin grew up near Boston and graduated from Skidmore College. In 2007, he embarked on a spiritual journey, which drew him to Scientology. In the summer of 2009, he paid $80,000 in advance for a Scientology counseling program.
$80,000 for a counseling program. Okay. Whoop, come on.
In Clearwater and booked his flight.
And I flew into Tampa, and I was told by Charlie Bills, who was my rep, that I was going to be picked up by a flag boss, and basically I grab my bags and I go out to the curb and there'll be a bus.
He picked his flight at the wrong time. He got there right before 2 on a Thursday, so he got regged to death practically. Here we go.
It's waiting for me, you'll know it'll say flag on the side. And I was waiting for my luggage, and all of a sudden I hear someone say, "Hi, Brian," or something like that. hey, Brian. And I turned around and I was first shocked that someone knew who I was, and it was two people from CMO, Commoners Messengers Organization, from the Superpower Project. And I said, oh, okay. So they said, we're here to pick you up. On the car ride over to Flag, it was, instantly involved in my first registration cycle or reg cycle for donations to the Superpower Project. And I remember being in the car and being like,
this is after paying $80,000.
I'm not really ready to donate any money. They were trying to get me to donate to be a cornerstone, which is $35,000, I think, or $30,000. And I said, and a cornerstone is a status level that you have.
They saw money signs with him and they never let up. He ended up paying, I think it was $250,000 before he finally got out. But yeah, it was like 250 or 350. I don't remember for sure now. But they kept going at him. Let's watch a few more seconds of it.
To do that, I said, I don't think I'm ready to do that. And I was fairly adamant, at first about not doing it. And then eventually I decided in the car ride over that I would donate a few $1,000s to the project. I remember quite definitively the franticness when I gave her my credit card for her to run it in the car. Well, first of all, I remembered her asking me to run the credit card in the car.
Running the credit card in the car, and this is 2007. Who did that in 2007? We didn't have the same apps and stuff then.
And I thought that was just bizarre. I said, you want to run my credit card now for this few $1,000s? And she said, yeah, we have this thing where we have to, our weekends, Thursday at 2, and we have to get all of our donations in by that time. So I kind of was like, all right, okay. So it's still a little weird, but sure. And the minute I pulled up to the Fort Harrison Hotel where I was staying, and I stayed there for several months, there was a person waiting there for me to collect my money.
Stayed there for several months. He paid $80,000. He wanted his money's worth, so he stayed, and they just kept regging him for money the whole time.
To finish my accommodations. So there was somebody like instantly waiting there. Like I remember opening the door and they actually had called the person driving to see where we were.
Little desperate, greedy little money grubbing cult members waiting for him second he gets out of the car.
And we probably showed up at like 1:55 or something like that. And then somebody was like at the door. They opened the car door and the guy was like, you Brian, I need the money for the accommodation. And I was like, what the hell is going on at this place? And then immediately, after I signed in and I had I believe an ethics interview, which everyone does when they go to
Give us your money, more money, please.
Flag at first. I was instantly brought into to meet Dave Foster, who's one of the Flag Regs. And he instantly regged me to pay for my whole bridge, which would have been like an additional $150,000 or something like that. So it was like, the first day was like boom, boom, boom. At first it was annoying, basically,
Got him to pay for the whole bridge on first day.
But then it got to the point where it was like really affecting me in the fact that I was like not feeling, safe, at the place. It was like every time I walked out of the auditing room, it was like people looking for money from me. It was quite ridiculous. After a session one day, my auditor, Nina Palmer, who was a class 12, we sat down after the session and she said, Brian, I really think that you should do, your patron. It's like, she really was like kind of laying on the compliments. You're so young and you're so successful and, this is such an important thing to do. And I said, yeah, I think it is an important thing to do, but I don't think, I just spent a lot of money on my L's and I don't think I'm really quite ready to, do that kind of financial commitment right now. She was looking for $50,000. I said,
money, please.
I'm not really ready for that, And she really wouldn't back off. She really, 10 minutes going back and forth. And I remember in that conversation, because, for me, it's like, in the auditor relationship, you really look up to these people. I was amazed at this really...
Your auditor regging you for money. So it's like your counselor using their counseling tools to get money from you and extorting money from you. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to play any more of that. Let's move along. This one's from Valarauco. I'm not sure how to say it. Valarauko. And I know Cricket said he probably wasn't going to be here this morning, so maybe no one's dropping links. But you all should know that all of the links are in the description. They're all listed in the description. You can find them there. This is called Scientology Crazy Followers.
Nowadays. What was the
Look at those Xenu eyes, guys.
status of this guy? Did you do services here at some point? Service? You mean in the Sea Org? No, I just want to know,
It's Mark Bunker talking. They're way up in his face.
what your beef is.
What is my beef? Well,
Yes.
I think the fact that you harass anyone who speaks out against the church is beef enough.
No, you don't understand. You can speak all you want. Why don't you go speak somewhere else? Why do you have to do it so you're interpolating
Why do you have to get up in his face?
people who come here for an event?
Trying to be intimidating, trying to be keep his TRs in.
You're hiding behind this camera. You got this
I'm
big.
hiding behind nothing. I'm giving you a chance
Listen,
to state
buddy,
your
you
situation.
can't even look me straight in the face. You're sitting there hiding behind with one eye closed, looking through the lens.
Can you imagine having that ugly mug and that breath in your face like he is? With the Xenu eyes? No, thank you. No, thank you.
That other
You
eye.
wuss.
Hey, Mark. We're
Yeah,
done with
so
him.
much
Let's
time
go.
with him.
Later.
Bye. Would you fellas sign my book? Draw a long piece of blue.
Look at how many people are there, guys. This is the early days of Anonymous protesting.
Sky, if tell you the truth about Hubbard.
Well, I thought I had plenty of great footage, so I was leaving. Well, then I turned around and saw that my 3 pals were following me.
Boy, you guys are good. I was about to leave. We're not stopping you.
Big Blue was bustling that day.
Okay. It's nice of you to escort me.
It's so funny. Oh, they're trying so hard to intimidate him. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. It's such posturing.
Dan, do you want to apologize for coming to picket me at my home? You think it was proper to set leaflets around my neighborhood? Let me ask you this. Jeff Jacobson in Phoenix had picket flyers put around a gig.
Yeah, they really look like Scientology's working for them. Look how happy they are, guys.
Just a few days ago when he was being a DJ, said that he attacks religions. Why is it that you folks have to say that we attack religions when it's only Scientology that we speak out against?
And Scientology's not a religion.
Why do you attack Scientology?
Because of the criminal activities of your organization?
Good point. Criminal activities. What are your criminal activities, Mark? Because that's why
It's just such bad acting, and no one's buying this, buddy.
you're here. You've got your own criminal activities you want to hide. Let's spit them out, Mark. That's all you're here for, to hide your own crimes.
He's afraid of being found out.
He's afraid. He's absolutely
It's a terribly
afraid.
difficult way to hide.
Only emotion you're allowed to express in Scientology is anger. You got to get your TRs in. You got to be aggressive little pit bull. You can't be kind. You can't be nice. If I've heard of people that when they worked for volunteer ministries, if they actually did volunteer work and helped people, they were pulled into ethics and given auditing for being too what's the word they always use? I can't think of it right now. I'm not awake, but yeah, giving them crap for being kind and for actually trying to help people. They said it was, first of all, it makes you out. Oh, not out ethics, out. It puts the other person in a state of owing you something out. Let me look at chat. Maybe someone in chat has it. Out I can't think of it. Anyway, no one's popping it into chat. Not out text, not out ethics. It makes you out of balance, basically, we'll say. But yeah, you're not allowed to actually help people. You get pulled Out exchange. Thank you. That's it. Makes you out exchange. So you're only allowed to ever show anger and hand out way to happiness pamphlets. You're not allowed to actually do any good or actually help people. All right, let's play a funny one from Angry Gay Pope. We need a funny one after these. Oh, I gotta share the tab. That would help.
You described a pansy stomping incident.
Yeah, in the flower bed.
Is that the incident when
Poor pansies.
you were arrested for vandalism?
Got to be very careful how I step.
I wasn't arrested. No, I was not arrested.
You were cited?
Yes, I was cited.
And you were prosecuted, correct?
Yes.
For vandalism at Golden Era when you were, as you put it, stomping on flowers?
Yes.
You were doing that intentionally to destroy.
This is Angry Gay Pope doing an interrogation basically with Kendrick Maxon over, he calls it the Pansygate scandal. He's supposed to be in there for something completely different, and then they just start asking him questions about everything they want to dig dirt up on him from, get him to admit something.
The flower beds, the plants, right?
No.
You were intentionally stepping on individual plants, weren't you?
Yes.
Twisting your foot, trying basically killing these plants?
Yes.
Why were you doing that?
Because the police refused to show up, and I was forced to engage in civil disobedience to make them arrive and enforce Ordinance 884.
Address the ordinance.
This ordinance,
I am for the ordinance.
which is of high importance to the politicians in Riverside.
We've been through this hearing quite a few times. I think we've massaged this ordinance.
So you knew you were violating the law?
Yes.
Is that why you pleaded guilty to that vandalism offense?
No.
Why'd you plead guilty?
Because you offered me a plea bargain.
So rather than
He's there about a completely different incident, and they keep drilling him about all these other little things that he does. And his lawyer eventually speaks up and says, objection, that's irrelevant. So check out Angry Gay Pope. He cracks me up. He's so funny. Here's another one from Wanu0101. Scientology laughed at in the courts. It's about the not one thin dime for Wallersheim. I'm never sure if I should just read these out loud to you guys, but this was in 2002.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Wallersheim. I'm the individual who won the largest court victory in the history of Scientology. Scientology paid me $9.2 million, every single thin dime of that, for their use of mind control.
I love how he says not even $9.2 million, every thin dime of it, because they kept saying not one dime for Wallersheim, and they dragged this on in court for years and years, trying to bankrupt him, get him to stop, but he eventually won, got $9.2 million.
On me when I went there thinking they were something else. I paid them a lot of money and they hurt me. They abused me. They did all kinds of crazy things. They have been doing this with a lot of people all over the world.
I wish more people would go after them and bring up court cases against them. There's a lot of people that need to be given $9.2 million from the abuses they suffered. But so far, it's really only been a handful that have done that. Most people want to just cut their losses and be done with it. They're embarrassed. They don't want to spend the time in court, the money, the harassment they'll get. It's, they really try to burden you, and they really burden this guy. But this guy, Wallersheim, he's like, nah, not today. I'm going to double down. I'm going to keep at it. You're just reinforcing my drive to do this. And so he went after them.
Using mind control in a supposed religious setting and violating people's human rights abuse, and when they're under mind control, getting them to give all their money to Scientology and taking hundreds of thousands of dollars away from people. And they were punished in my case. Wallerstein versus Scientology of California, famous California case. This case has opened the door for the rest of you who've been in Scientology to get a lawyer.
Think about it. If there's any or any ex-Scientologists here, think about it. You could go after them too.
And you have a very clear and easy path to go get your restitution, to get your lives made whole again, to get your money back, and to penalize Scientology and take the profit out of it so it can't hurt other people. Unless victims take the profit out of Scientology's wrongdoing, it will keep doing it because it's taking hundreds of thousands of dollars away from individuals.
Wallersheim got his dime. Let's move along to another one from Wanu about human rights in the Church of Scientology. Oh, share tab. At least I'm remembering, finally.
When you leave or you say something negative about Scientology, you are declared a suppressive person. And they
Our lovely Tori. I wanted to show this to show her. She's so cute.
start spreading lies about you. They told people I'm a criminal, which I'm
Okay, that was demeaning, dismissive. What's more important than her being cute is the message. She's brilliant in this.
not. But they're constantly spreading lies about me. So people literally, my best friends for 30 years, now I'll call up and say, this is Tori, and they just hang up the phone.
Hines devoted 30 years to Scientology, 24 of them in the top echelon. As an auditor, he was charged with conducting intense one-on-one counseling sessions with celebrities.
Interrogation sessions, guys, not counseling sessions. Brainwashing, hypnotism, interrogation sessions.
Scientologists. The church has an Office of Special Affairs, a covert group charged with silencing those who would criticize Scientology.
And I do know that they would hire private investigators. They would follow people. I've heard of them using various...
This is a church, guys.
scare tactics. I've even heard about pets being killed. There was a well-known person within the Church of Scientology who had defected and had become an enemy. And I did see an order carried out to go through this person's auditing files in detail and write down all of the discreditable things about the person.
I know some children who've killed themselves because they wanted to leave the Church of Scientology, and I think the pressure was just too much, and they've just killed themselves. I stood over one of my best friend's sons.
Yeah, Scientology is the most ethical group on the planet. Okay, all right.
Who died, who shot himself.
I grew up in Scientology. I was born to Scientology. You basically can't do anything, so what are you supposed to do?
Tommy Gorman left when his wife was R-worded by a Sea Org member, and instead of the Sea Org member getting punished, his wife did. His wife got punished. Anyway, let's move along and move on to more of Tori.
My entire eternity, right? So now when you're leaving, I mean, people have actually mentioned it to me. Scientologists have come on my YouTube account, and it's like, your entire eternity is destroyed because of what you're doing. And I want to tell people, if anybody's lurking, I'm doing great. It is the best thing that ever happened to me. The day I've told people this, it sort of feels like this, like you're swimming upstream for years, for like 30 years, like trying to get to OT or whatever it is. And finally you just go, you know what? This is not working. And you turn around, go downstream, and it's so easy.
Tori made it all the way to OT7. OT7 is torture, guys.
Easy. It's just so amazing. And all of you are part of that going downstream. It has just been so great to be surrounded by wonderful, kind, gentle people that have been helpful and supportive. And there's people years ago that started fighting this battle in the 80s and maybe even earlier.
If Tori didn't finish OT7, she's still covered in body thetans, and I like her just the way she is.
but the ones I knew were in the 80s. And when they stepped out, they were fighting this totalitarian organization all by themselves. There was no internet. There was a little group of people that would kind of band together, but that was about it. And Scientology was everywhere, black PRing them and trashing their names and stuff like that.
Because that's what churches do with ex-members. All right, let's play a little bit of Tori from a different video on Scientology and celebrities.
A lot of you have asked me about celebrities, and I'm going to tell you what I know about it as far as Scientology. Hubbard.
This was her in 2008 watching the Oscars.
Johnny Grant. So many cool people.
They're doing the end of the Oscars or that segment of the Oscars when they show everyone that passed away that year.
They'll always be with us though, because they left their mark. You gotta make sure to leave your mark. Anyway, Hubbard knew that people looked up to celebrities. We like them. We like to watch them. We love their work. And the bigger they are, the more we're going to, they influence us.
Tori McGoo, you're a celebrity to us.
And so that's, people always say, why are celebrities in Scientology? Well, first of all, they, if you come to LA, pretty much all of these people, when you come to LA as an artist, first, they're like, hey, see you around. Come see us when you're a star. Right? Nobody's really interested in anybody until you're a star. I mean, of course, a few people are, but not much. Ingrid Bergman, Ray Evans. Sorry. Anyway. Heath Ledger. Sorry.
It was the year Heath Ledger died. Tori, you left your mark for sure.
And I know I'm not supposed to say sorry. I met him. He's a really sweet person. He was. He is. Anyway.
Oh, I'll have to ask her about the time she met Heath Ledger.
So that's why they get into these celebrities. And they stay because they have a very red carpet treatment. Don't you guys? I mean, they have their own secret course room, they have their own secret entrance, they have their own secret parking lot, so they can kind of get in and out and come as they please. And anywhere they go around the world, they have a group of people that definitely think they're the, bee's knees. So that's not too bad for an artist. So that's kind of how it all works.
That's how it works for Tom Cruise. Let's play Mark Bunker. I'm dying to share more of Mark Bunker because we need to get Mark Bunker reelected in Clearwater. He has been a long-standing opponent for 28 years, something like that, against Scientology, and he's the only one who's been willing to do that, and we need to have him reelected.
This past weekend, the St. Pete Times printed a series of comments from its readers who were asked what they think about when they think about Clearwater. To the surprise of practically no one, there were several negative comments about Scientology. But what may surprise and even shock some people is what happened next. Scientology investigated those people, and later that day posted on the internet anonymous information that one of those writers had supposedly committed a felony. This is L. Ron Hubbard's written policy.
Attack, attack, attack.
If someone attacks you, attack back. Do a noisy investigation. Shudder them into silence. How far will they go? Well, today we got news from Boston that the person who walks Bob Minton's dog was met in the street by one of Scientology's PIs who strolled along on this dog walk asking questions about Bob, his home, his
assaulting the dog walker? Oh my God.
Computers, and whether the dog walker reports his income to the IRS. Now that's just one little piece of the investigation they're running on Bob. Scientology has literally spent millions of tax-free dollars on PIs and covert operations to silence Bob Minton. They're working all over the globe. One of those investigators, Brian Raftery, recently testified that Scientology pays him $187,000 a year. That's just one PI. They're in Boston, New Hampshire, Tennessee, London, Switzerland, Nigeria. They follow Bob's children.
The ones following Ronald Miscavige Sr. got $500,000 a year between the two of them.
They spread lies to his old friends and business partners. They feed false information to any reporter they can get to listen to them. Recently, they published on the internet.
That's Tom Cruise money. Thanks, Tom Cruise. You're doing a great job protecting the planet from elderly senior citizens.
Personal information from Bob's medical files, information that's supposed to be held strictly confidential. And speaking of confidential, we promised the people who turned to the Lisa McPherson Trust for help that we would keep their information confidential. This week, Scientology is trying to use the court system to break that confidence and force us to turn over our records so they can attack those people and shudder them into silence. Well, it's not going to happen. When I think
this is in 2001, guys. It says August 16th, 2001.
At Clearwater, I think of Gabe Casares, the courageous former mayor who stood up to Scientology and was attacked viciously. When Scientology's covert operations against Gabe were discovered in FBI raids, Gabe Casares sued Scientology, only to discover that the lawyer he hired was himself a Scientologist that the cult had brought in expressly to befriend Gabe at his country club and get him to hire him so he can botch Gabe's case. That lawyer
Disgusting, disgusting.
was disbarred for his actions. As you talk about downtown redevelopment, I suggest that you should put up a statue to Gabe Casares, and I would put it right in front of the old Clearwater Bank building, because that's where they planned and executed the operations against Gabe, and that's where they still do their dirty work. I would.
Thank you, Mark, for your continued efforts. We appreciate you. Please help get Mark reelected. Please shout his name out, like and subscribe. Share his content, all the things, all the things. Here's another one from Mark Bunker, also from 2001.
I swear this was less than 3 minutes when I wrote it. So. My name is Jeff Jacobson. I live at 2481 Northeast Coachman Road. I'm responding to the St. Petersburg Times article of July 4th, indicating that Chief Klein and Manager Horn are considering halting off-duty police work on Watterson Street. The Clearwater Police, hired by Scientology, have taken off-duty assignment on Watterson Street for about a year and a half now. 2 uniformed policemen, often with their police car parked nearby, sit in lawn chairs with a Scientology security guard, or in their police cruiser or private vehicle.
Oh, but the police aren't in cahoots with Scientology. This is shocking, shocking.
8 hours a day, 7 days a week. They do absolutely nothing for their $21 per hour. They eat Scientology food, talk on their cell phones, fill in crossword puzzles, chat with their Scientology security guard buddy, who, by the way, sits in the police car with
and make bank
them at times, and otherwise watch the world go by. On rare occasions, they may get up to direct the stray car that might wander onto Watterson Street while the Scientology buses are loading or unloading. There's no reason for these police to be there. I have the rare privilege of working at a business that has an entrance on Watterson, so I've seen the daily activity on this road. I have never seen anything requiring a policeman's presence on this street, nor have I heard of any. The main thing that happens is the Scientology staff is bussed in for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Got to keep those police pockets filled, though, guy.
And then they leave, and that's the excitement of the day. Every Scientologist who enters and exits these buses, however, sees these 2 armed, uniformed policemen sitting with the Scientology security guard 8 hours a day. The message is sent by these officers' presence. Scientology is under threat. Scientology is being protected by the city, and Scientology and the city are working hand in hand. I'm not sure that this is the message that the city wants to convey. I have personally heard some of these police officers,
just like they did in LA,
making derogatory remarks towards us who work at the Lisa McPherson Trust. There's no reason for the police to be showing bias to anyone or any group, and this is not only highly unprofessional, but combined with Chief Klein's letter to the St. Pete Times, it is troubling. Chief Klein's March 22nd letter makes some very strange claims.
Long history of police collaboration with Scientology. Just showing you Mark Bunker's channel, guys. Check it out. Check out his content. Give him some encouragement. Let him know the whole community is behind him. We appreciate you. Next, I wanted to play something a little silly and a little funny just to lighten the mood a bit. This is called The Bridge. What bridge? from Amy Nona. I think it's supposed to be like anonymous, but I can't pronounce it properly. Here we go. Oh, I got to share the tab. Okay, here we go.
To total freedom is a promise that has never been delivered.
Showing the bridge to total freedom. Just a silly little fun clip. What would be a short today from, I think it's 2008, 2009, and a really small channel. Let's watch a little bit more of it. It's funny.
Tell me a problem with Scientology. The bridge to total freedom is a promise that has never been.
So, yeah, little fun with the bridge to total freedom. It's the bridge to total chaos. And then last, I wanted to play a poetry read from Hubbard's great grandson, Jamie DeWolf. Sorry, this is also on Team Zemu.
Every family has their black sheep. On my mother's side, our black sheep was a shepherd who enslaved his own flock. The king of the Khans, a man who made himself a messiah, even though he never called himself a god.
Sorry for the
Even tonight, his words are written in steel and titanium capsules in a nuclear reinforced bunker miles underground. So if our whole species goes extinct, his words will still survive. He was a subject we never talked about at the kids' table at family reunions, but he was my great-grandfather, L. Ron Hubbard. Lafayette Ron Hubbard. He was born a storyteller, a science fiction writer, a golden-tongued grifter who could write a book in any genre while the publisher waited downstairs in the hotel lobby. Just another name on dime store pulp mags, paid only a penny a page until 1949 when he said, "You want to know how you really get rich? You start a religion." A year later, he kept to his...
I'm going to interrupt for copyright reasons. By the way, it says Team Zemu. That's not a typo. Hubbard, the very first time he introduced Xenu, he said Zemu. And Zemu was a fictitious cartoon character. So I guess he decided, oh, maybe I should change it up a little. And he changed it to Xenu. But when his very first instance of referencing Xenu, he called him Zemu. And if you look it up, Zemu was a science fiction character. Here we go.
Word wrote Dianetics, transforming science fiction into fact until you could pay to flatline your mind for a fee. Overnight, he went from pennies to a profit until the world demanded to see his evidence. But L. Ron knew if you don't have facts, all you need is faith. So he turned his science into a religion, and Scientology was born. A few years later, his son arrived, a baby who had survived an early abortion attempt, born premature at 2 pounds, 2 ounces, abandoned by his father as he sought fame and fortune. Now he emerged to take his part of the new family business. He was my grandfather, L. Ron Hubbard Jr. Carrying his father's name in his red hair, Junior became his right-hand man and was a devout disciple and a believer, helping him to construct the church. And it took him years to realize he was only another accomplice. Trained in the arts of electrified hypnotism, blackmail, and beatdowns.
I don't want to interrupt this. This is such a powerful reading, but I want to play most, if not all of it, because it is so powerful. So I do have to interrupt. Sorry. But yeah, even L. Ron Hubbard Jr. didn't want to be associated with Hubbard and changed his name to Ronald DeWolf.
He learned to hide his crimes behind his charisma, and it took him a decade to see the holes behind the holy, the man behind the myth, his father. Stuffing thousands of dollars in a shoebox he kept secret underneath the bed, his father. Burning incriminating documents before dawn, his father. Escaping criminal charges as he ran from state to state as Junior watched his family and friends' brains washed, banks broken. Sickened by what he had seen behind the curtain, in 1959, Junior left.
Junior left in 59, partly because in 58, Hubbard asked him to devise a plan to steal an H-bomb.
But his father always understood retribution better than redemption, and he stalked his son with wiretaps, break-ins, and death threats. My grandfather coming home to photographs of his children in his mailbox, playing on playgrounds, alone and unguarded, to remind him the eye of the peer.
His own grandchildren, threatening the lives of his own grandchildren. And that H-bomb reference was from testimony Ronald DeWolf gave to Florida courts in 1982. He did speak out. Thank you, Ronald DeWolf. Let's play more of this.
Pyramid never blinks. While every one of my aunts and uncles were taught how to use a gun, the son forced to live like his dad, permanently on the run until he changed his last name from Hubbard to DeWolf. A lie to protect him from ever having to tell the truth. When your father has created a religion in your lifetime, there's no sun big enough to ever escape his shadow. But there's a thin line between prophecy and psychosis, and the barefaced Messiah ran from countries and criminal charges, an international outlaw on a ship, escaping extradition as sanity slipped.
He fled the authorities from state to international waters to hiding in the desert, and yet we have a street named after him. We have a street honoring him in LA. You guys need to join the call-in crew and express your disgust at this. It's disgusting. And I'll talk more on the call-in crew after this.
As he started confusing his past from his fiction, until one day he vanished before a courtroom or a jail cell could ever make him real again. Junior, now buried under debt, tried to flush his father out of hiding to write him a check. So he litigated the Holy Ghost to prove he still had flesh. The son took his war public to scrape the idol's gold down to rust. Junior, now a dying diabetic with an amputated foot, buried and battered from a decade of lawsuits against the man who carried his same name, until the day his dad died in hiding, cremated the next morning, leaving only a legacy of ashes. The church gave the son one final offer: arrest your tongue, swallow the truth for one final check, or you and your next of kin will face a lifetime of threats. So he signed away his silence and took his secrets and 2 heart attacks to his grave. Another victim the church stopped pretending to save. On Thanksgiving, in a house a self-made God paid for, his great-grandchildren never said his name. He was the one God we never gave grace to. One day, my grandfather led me to a bookshelf and showed me volumes of his father's works. He said, "Your mom says you want to be a writer. Well, don't believe everything you read, but believe everything you say." I never met the man who gave me my red hair, the manic depression still twisted in the strains of my DNA, And the first time I saw a psychiatrist, when he asked me if mental illness runs in my family, all I could say was yes. Yes, it does. When I told him my great-grandfather was a cult leader that enslaved the minds of millions, he accused me of having delusions of grandeur. What can I say? It runs in my veins. I've been in secret to L. Ron Hubbard Hollywood life exhibits, where his latest victim leads me on a tour of a life he never led, my family written out of existence. And this disciple will never know the legacy of lies that I still carry in my last name. The wolf, a cover story to protect us from my great-grandfather's true children, the army of empty, who greet me in train stations with an e-meter and a personality test, and they ask me if I've ever heard of L. Ron Hubbard. And I want to ask them, which one? The Son or the Father? The God or the man?
Lovely. He did such a great job with this. I really, really enjoyed hearing every word of it. I'm so glad he's speaking out. Jamie DeWolf. It was a powerful performance from him. That's it, guys. That's all I got today. I want to remind you about the call-in crew. The call-in crew is calling into the Los Angeles Board of Public Works on the regular, and they need your help. So if you could join in the call-in crew, all you have to do is say, why do we have a street named after a cult leader? This man is guilty of destroying the lives of so many people, and yet we have a street named after him. Tomorrow, Ganja Girl is hosting the call-in crew. So check out Ganja Girl. Be sure to subscribe to her channel and hit the notification bell, and let her know, and let the city of Hollywood know, and Los Angeles know, that this is not okay. This is something we need to fight against. This is something we need to fight for. Right now, they're fighting to get Cesar Chavez Boulevard, I think it's Boulevard, changed, the name changed because of his crimes. Well, let's get L. Ron Hubbard Way changed. Join in the call-in crew tomorrow and let them know that this is not okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I know. I'm reading chat now. Oh, Liz Gale's doing a live stream later. Check that out. Hey, Laura. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Amy. Hi, Donna. Hi, T. I said already. Kathy. Hi. I said hi to Rib Guy. So, yeah, it is very powerful. Oh, you've never heard that before? I heard it years ago. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. He was an amazing speaker, and he fills it with so much history and passion and emotion from the trauma he's faced from being a family member. This is how L. Ron Hubbard treated his family members, right? So crazy. It's crazy bullshit. Anyway, please check out the call-in crew. I saw Dusty was here earlier. Should I play my sponsored by Dusty commercial? I think I should. Just say a little shout out for Dusty. Here we go. Is your protest gray, drab, and sad? Well, you can do better. Come on into Dusty's Soda Dispenser's tie-dye shop today. Find everything that your protest needs to bring it to life. Make it bright, fun, and more eye-catching. You can rev it up to 10x and get some movement in your feet. You can be a happy protester. Just pop into Dusty's Soda Dispenser shop on his channel today. There you will find all you need to protest Scientology with vigor and glee. We can turn that frown upside down. Dusty's has sizes from XXX small to 6X large, all at reasonable prices. Don't miss. Come on in to Dusty's today while supplies last. T, I know. I'm really sad about that. Yeah, he's not completely gone, but yeah, he's taken down his Scientology content. He's done, he says. So, but I still love him. I'm still going to shout him out from time to time. Um, just a reminder on how to do the call in. I am going to show you how to do that. So I was just on Styles' page because I was checking out her post. So you go to my page, go to posts, and in the post section, you'll find that's another one from Styles. Really good read. You should check it out. You'll find where I post the meetings. This one's the LA Police Commissioners meeting. And here's one from Wednesday was canceled, but here's one from Monday's not police commission, Los Angeles Board of Public Works. And at the top here where it says agenda, you can click on that, see what the items are they're discussing for the day. And there's a link on that. Or you could just go to my link, raise your hand. You open up Zoom, raise your hand, and just say you want to speak on public comment. And you can go after Audit or go after Laura so you can get your nerves up and know what to say. And just say that you want the name L. Ron Hubbard removed from the street, that is an honorarium he is not deserving of. It needs to get changed back to North Berendo. So any of you that find the courage to do that would be greatly appreciated. It'll be streamed from Ganja Girl's channel tomorrow. So check out Ganja Girl. Add her to your watch list for sure. And I'm going to update the post and make a post for tomorrow. I'll use the same squirrel. I'll use this squirrel T in Perth so that you can easily recognize it. And yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Check out the call-in crew. Give them some love and support. Laura's on the call-in crew. Styles on the call-in crew. Jennifer's on the call-in crew. Audit LA. Me. Sometimes Henry calls in. Sometimes Eyes to See calls in. Ganja Girl. There's a whole group of us trying to get L. Ron Hubbard Way stripped off the streets of Hollywood and changed back to North Berendo. So I think that's something we could all get behind. And I forgot to say something earlier. Let's find it. But today is Satanic Thursday. So let's play that. Thanks for joining me, guys, on this Satanic Thursday, on this fun little look back at activism past. It's still going, guys. We still have a chance to make a difference, and you can make a difference. Just being here and just supporting all these other people, all these protesters and activists makes a difference. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Go out and do something fun, okay? Bye.